Good afternoon, my name is Terrell Henry. This is oral template number 12. For oral template number 12, the section we're reading today is the science of climate. And I'm actually going to start off today with the main idea of the whole chapter. Actually, to start off today, sorry about that. I'm going to start off with the main idea of the whole chapter is that climate varies. Climate varies depending on location. It varies on different things. As one being location. So, for example, I'm gonna say, a climate of somewhere in California, you're gonna see much hotter temperatures, beachier vibes. Where you look at somewhere like Alaska, where it's colder, you see more ice instead of beachy vibes. So your climate will vary on your location, and it could also vary on the resources you have around you. And for that, I mean somewhere with more fossil fuels available to them, they're most likely going to use fossil fuels over, like solar panel or something like that. So your climate's going to vary there too, as fossil fuels burning will produce carbon. The carbon will absorb that radiation, causing a little bit of climate change. So I think fossil fuels plays a part in climate as well. So overall, there's many variables that go into climate and the reason that the climate is the way it is. And here we go for the pictures I have. This picture right here on the left, showing the sun absorbing sunlight and taking it in, and then you can see it also with it absorbing some of it. You can also see it reflecting some of the arrows going out. So Earth gets its energy from the sun, but it also reflects some of the energies, which overall causes some problems, which we'll get into with this picture to the right. If you can see, it's kind of showing the same thing. It goes just a little bit more in depth though about it, showing the reflection of it, but it's also showing the emission and going into the air. So it's just basically, this picture is just a more in-depth version of this picture over here. And for my first section of the chapter, I'm going to talk about today is section keeping a house warm. And for the main point of this section, there's a lot that goes into keeping your house warm. So obviously, when it is cold outside, you're gonna see more furnaces, more heaters. When using the thermostat, you're gonna obviously turn it up higher as you're trying to stay warmer because of the temperature outside. Where in the summer it's more hot, so we're gonna see more fans, more AC. We're gonna see the thermostat down because you are trying to stay cooler. So so going into winter, we'll say, where it is colder outside, so you're gonna obviously use more heat. So the hotter it is inside, the more heat you're losing. So there's actually a whole lot that goes into the process of keeping your house warm. And also forgot to add this too, looking at that whenever the more heat you use, like I was saying, for the winter, the more energy your house will lose because you're using all that energy inside. So that means that your house is losing a lot of energy too. I wanted to make sure I added that point in there. And for my next section here, I have keeping a planet warm. And for that section, I have the main point is that keeping the planet warm is kind of the same thing as keeping your house warm. So obviously, most of the Earth's energy comes from the sun. That's the Earth's main energy source is the sun. So with the sun being the main energy source, it is it takes the energy in as the sun for the Earth is our houses our thermostat. That's where we get our energy from. That's where we how much energy we need to be hot, to be cold. So it just goes in to show that keeping the planet warm is kind of like trying to keep your house warm. And for section in the greenhouse, for that main point, I have that Earth's temperatures varies on its location. And like I was saying, whenever I was explaining explaining the whole chapter, where you live will determine. It plays a big part in how much in your overall temperature. So, like I said before, living in Alaska, you're expecting more cooler. You're gonna wear more thermal clothes. You're gonna use more heaters. You're gonna use more furnaces. Where, like I said, Florida, you're gonna wear thermals. You're gonna wear tank tops. You're gonna wear shorts. You're gonna be using AC. You're not gonna be using your heaters, your thermostat's heat as much as you would in Alaska. So location plays a big part in the overall temperature of your location. It's gonna play a big part in how you dress, and and how much overall energy you use. It's going to play a big part, and location is the main reason. And for my next section, I have I'm going to go down to the section A Tale of Three Planets. And for this section, I have the main point as a question. And the question is, I want to make sure I get this right here. Does greenhouse affect Earth's surface temperature? That was the main question over that whole little section. And this is a theory that's been around since the 19th centuries, dating back way back. So the theory that Earth's surface is affected, it's impossible to prove, because the fact that you can't take away the natural resources. So this theory, I mean, it could be proven. It couldn't be proven, but it's just a theory that a lot of scientists have, and I felt like overall that was the main point of the section, was just going more in depth into the theory. And for this section, I'm going to go to section Science Meets Policy, Earth's Observation Budget, and Data Gaps. And for that main point, there are many factors that go into understanding Earth's climate change. And I've already hit over the location part, so I'm going to go into the humans' effect on it. With climate change, the amount of natural resources that we use, that is one of the biggest causes of climate change, the burning of fossil fuels. We need energy as humans. We do need energy sources, but we need to try to find other ways to get energy as, sorry about that, we need to find other ways to get energy other than just fossil fuels. As the climate change, it will be as if, as said before, if we continue where we're at now, Earth's climate, with the way it's changing, we are currently at the make or break point where we have to make a change and stop the climate change, or this will affect our kids in 100 of years from now. This We are at the point where we need to try to use as much solar energy as possible and try to keep our planet's environment together.